What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are back with another video. It's no longer 2 degrees. We've bumped it up. It's 6 degrees outside. Love upstate New York. What do we got going on here? Well, today I want to mount the regulator, mount the fuel pump. Still waiting on fuel lines. They should be here today, tomorrow, or February. Who knows? On top of waiting for things to show up, I did buy better mics, so we don't have to worry about these cheap things much longer. If I could bug you guys so much to like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever, greatly appreciated. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking, so we're gonna get to work on mounting the regulator, mounting the fuel pump, and we're gonna go from there. I think maybe the shifter, possibly. We'll see how long the first two things take. I have enough fuel line to make a few lines, so maybe we'll do that as well. I don't know what we're gonna get into. Really going to focus on fuel pump and regulator at the moment. Fuel lines are coming. Like I said, I have some that I can do. I think I can do the one out of the fuel cell into the fuel pump. I think I can do out of the regulator to the carb, and that might be it for the moment. But yeah, we're working on it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, watching. On top of all that, there's two people that apparently have a bet whether or not this thing will get done in 2027, 2028, or if I'll move to a different project. Hi Jamie. Hi John. How you guys doing? You guys are both wrong. This year, 2026. All right, so now that's out of the way. Let's get to work. Let's get to mounting some stuff up, welding, fabricating, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea where I'm going to put the fuel pump. I have no idea where I'm going to put the regulator, but well, I guess it's time to go figure that out. So, quick little update of what we got going on. We got the regulator installed in it's a location. I'm not really happy about it, but it's kind of the best we got going on because it's where it fits. Like I said, not the biggest fan of where it is, but it's where it fits. So underneath the car, we got fuel pump in right there. So really what I'm about to go work on now is getting the shifter made up and getting that in, because here's how my mind works. So I have the fuel pump in now. Well, that means that I have to wire up the fuel pump. While I'm there, I might as well put the shifter in and wire up the neutral safety switch through the shifter, because yeah, that makes sense. So, wow, I didn't know you guys traveled over there. So that's kind of what I got going on. We're going to start going at it with the shifter, weld up. I had a bracket already made up for the shifter, so that part's taken care of. Then, weld my mount up, weld it in there, put the shifter in so that way I can wire up the neutral safety switch through it. And that's kind of where we're at. Oh, I did put the driver's side of the motor back together. Header was off because I needed it to be for the steering. The intake is still just sitting on there. I have not bolted that down yet because I still got to work out the oil pressure sensor back, not sensor back there, but the oil pressure gauge back there. Make sure that's all tight. And we are still waiting on the nice little adapter that goes into this side of the head. So that way I can use my temp gauge that I have. So waiting for that. That's another thing that's coming Monday, along with, like I said, the better mics and all that other jazz. So it's kind of where we're at on this thing. Not a whole lot done today, but enough to open up doors to keep going on certain things. So now I am ready to run the fuel lines. I am ready to wire up the fuel pump. I'm ready to do all that stuff. So while I'm there, like I said, I got to wire up the fuel pump. I got to wire up the neutral safety switch with a shifter. And while I'm wiring stuff, I'm going to wire up the alternator. So that's just kind of how my brain works. Kind of do a bunch of things and then tie them all together. So that way, we're still making progress and things like that. So will this thing run by the end of February? Hard saying, especially because I have no idea if you're looking at me. Maybe you are now. Will this thing run by the end of February? Maybe. I don't know. I can tell you, though, that there probably won't be a new video next week because I have a 2-day course. That's 16 hours total, and it allows me to carry something in public. Probably can't say it here. Use your imagination. What would I need to take a 16-hour course for in New York so that way I can carry something on my person in public? Do the math. So I got that next weekend, so probably won't be really any progress unless I can sneak out here during the week. We'll see. So this is probably going to be one of the last videos for the next few weeks, and we'll get back at it again. No questions asked. Nothing, nothing's going to stop this thing from running this year and driving down the road. But that's where we're at. So I'm going to start working on that shifter, and we'll come back here and wrap everything up.
You'll never make me stay, so take your weight off of me. I know your every move, so won't you just let me be?
All right, guys, so we got the shifter in. We got the regulator mounted. We got the fuel pump mounted. What that means, I can run fuel lines. I can wire the neutral safety switch into the shifter so it's not just looped around on itself to make itself turn over. So it can actually be the right way. With that, we're going to wire up the fuel pump, wire up the alternator so we have a charging system, we hope. And then we're going to try to start this thing. So we got a little bit till we get there, of course. It's always more and more work. It is what it is. But that's kind of my my streamline goal for the moment. Just hear this thing turn over, hear it fire up, and just get it running, because that's just going to be huge. So got to wire up the fuel pump, wire up alternator. Bear with me for a moment. So we got to wire up the fuel pump, wire up the alternator, put fluids in it, run fuel lines, and wire up a few more things here and there. You know, make sure we have oil pressure, make sure we got temperature. So we're like right there. We're right there. But I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, give me a sub, give me a like if you want to, or comment, tell me I'm an idiot. It's all good with me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, next week may not have a video. I got a permit class to go take, but we'll see. I'm not saying there's not going to be one, but I'm also not going to sit here and promise you that there is going to be one next week. So we'll see what we get. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.
When I'm on the plane, about to go get some money or go spend some money, they stop me